Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we find ourselves back on Arabia for a match between Sitaux, spawning as the blue Vikings, and Miguel, spawning as the red Mayans. Now as these players, both with very good elos, explore their immediate vicinity, look for herdables, and try to go up to Feudal ASAP, let's take a look at their respective civs. The Vikings, always fun to watch. They are a civ that really does excel at water-based maps, so some of their bonuses are not applicable at all to a 1v1 Arabia, but they do have some very cool infantry-related upgrades. So, economically, they get wheelbarrow and handcart for free, which is a huge boost as you go up through the ages. Your villagers automatically get faster, carry more, etc. Their infantry starting in Feudal does have an extra 20% HP, which makes them nice and tanky for taking on any kind of early game aggression. And they have a couple of very cool castle upgrades that they can research. The first one gives their infantry an attack bonus against cavalry and camels, so not particularly useful in this match since they are going up against the Mayans. Their second castle upgrade allows their berserkers, which are their unique unit, to regenerate twice as fast. So, taking a step back, their unique unit is the Berserker, a pretty tanky infantry unit that does have a small attack bonus against Eagle Warriors. So we'll see how that plays out in this match where the Mayans actually have an upgrade for the Eagle Warriors, which I'll talk about, that adds an extra 40 HP to them. So one gives their Eagle Warriors more HP, and the other has an attack bonus against Eagle Warriors. So if we're lucky enough to see Berserkers against Eagle Warriors in this matchup, should be fun to watch and see who prevails. The Berserker unit, one of the cool things about it is that it does auto-regenerate. So if you leave it alone for a little bit, its HP climbs all the way back up to its original. Now, the Mayans start with 1 extra villager, but 50 less food, and their resources last 15% longer. Their foot archers do get progressively cheaper once you get into Imperial, which might be relevant for this matchup. I've seen a lot of Mayan players and a lot of Viking players go archer-based armies in the late game, so we'll see if that comes in. Their skirmishers, which are not cheaper, by the way, can throw a second weaker spear, and like I was saying, one of their bonuses that they can research, or rather an upgrade, is at 40 extra HP for their eagles. So their eagles are pretty tanky. Their unique unit is the Plumed Archer, very fast, very strong, fantastic at killing infantry, which unfortunately Sitaux has spawned an infantry-based civ. So it will be interesting to see where the players go with this. I apologize to everyone listening. I still am a little bit under the weather, so you might hear a little bit of sniffling, sneezing, coughing. I'll try to keep all that stuff away from the microphone, but Pobody's nerfed, and we'll see what happens. For now, at the 6-minute mark, both players are sitting at the exact same villager count, 17 going up to 18 plus. No military yet, and let's take a look at the respective bases. Miguel spawning basically in the open. Wow, okay, so his wood lines are pretty far away from his base. In this kind of situation, it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect him to wall this wood base off, or this wood line off. Oh, Sitaux gets a good sense of what's going on. Sees the barracks. So he knows that there might be, the usual militia pressure. So not a huge fan of where Miguel spawned, just because look how open it is on the left side. His gold very precariously positioned here. Something on the high ground will deal, or, Sitaux, any military from Sitaux on the high ground will deal immense amounts of damage here. And his only other gold is way outside his base here and way outside his base here. So Miguel, not the best spawn for his base, but let's see if Sitaux is also similarly disadvantaged. So right off the bat, his gold is in a much better position in the back of his base. That being said, his base is even more open. Look at this. Take a look at your screen. All the way the top half of your screen is completely open. So both players fairly exposed to the elements and exposed to each other's armies. Both players with, unfortunately placed resources. I mean, Sitaux is at an advantage just because his gold is in the back. That being said, Miguel's gold is much closer, so these villagers are a little bit safer in that they can run back to the town center if they come under attack. And as I'm rambling, Sitaux goes up to Feudal. Our Mayan player in red, not far behind, about 45 seconds. So let's see what happened. Both players have the same idea. Advantage here to Miguel because he does have the one extra militiaman, but good for Sitaux for keeping Miguel pinned into his base. Usually, I mean, anyone who plays 1v1 random games knows these three fellas with their big, annoying clubs are usually over here, harassing, attacking, denying, annoying, distracting. But Sitaux flips the script, says, I know what you're doing. I saw your barracks. I'm going to annoy the hell out of you before you can annoy the hell out of me. Have fun chasing me. I'm just going to right-click, maybe shift-click somewhere else once they get to where they're going. There we go. And that way you can chase me for the next half an hour while I continue to explore your base with my scout. So let's see what the players have seen of each other's bases. Again, I apologize for the sniffling. Sitaux has essentially seen everything. A little bit lacking in the southern portion of Miguel's base, so he doesn't know if there's a wood line here or if it's open or not. Let's see what Miguel has seen of Sitau's base. Yeah, he has a better outline of the base. I mean, he can guess that he sees the farm here. He'll know that the town center is here, and he knows exactly the weak points, strong points. I wish he would have scouted a tiny bit more around the perimeter just to see if he could locate where the wood piles are, but in this map there are no there's no forests anywhere in the north, so he's seen what he has to see. Blacksmith going down. Miguel, we'll see if it's for we'll see if it's for upgrades or if it's for just one of the structures you need for going up to castle. We'll see how active he is with it. For now, upgrade advantage Sitaux, just because, again, immediately take a look at the top left of your screen. He gets wheelbarrow without having to research it. But he has double bit axe, horse collar, so his wood chopping and his vegetable gathering are going to be a bit faster than Miguel, who does not have horse collars. So we'll see what Miguel decides to do. As I say that, he immediately gets horse collars. So yeah, both players fairly standard opening. Both players sitting at about 30 villagers, both going up to 31, 30. Bigger army. Actually, no. Both players have a significant amount of army. Let's take a look at Miguel's. We have an archer force here made up of 3 archers, 2 skirmishers. He still has his militia who are still chasing Sitau's distraction force. So good for Sitaux. At the cost of 2, he's distracting 3. And as I say that, oh my god, every time I say something, the opposite happens. Immediately, this militia decides, you know what, I've had enough of the chase. It's not fun anymore. I'm going to go F some shit up. I don't know why I censored one curse word and not the other. In any event, Miguel not being active with his army, taking up more of a defensive approach. Perhaps he suspects that Sitaux is going to put on his own aggression. Let's see where Sitau's army is. So, also at home. 5 archers to 5. 4 skirmishers to 2. So Sitau's army is slightly bigger. That being said, if you've watched my streams, my casts, you know that my opinion of feudal age armies is not very high. I mean, like, the damage output of this clump of 9 units is not... What the hell? How did he... Okay, he hasn't constructed the palisade wall yet. I was wondering where is this well attached to? In any event, my opinion of especially archer units in the feudal age is they can be super annoying. They can get a few villagers here and there, but it's not game-ending damage. And when you've reached the 24,000-2,500 elo level, I mean, you should be able to defend against something like this, especially when you have your own army quickly approaching. Let's see. Another Eagle Scout here for Miguel, so he's now taken the military advantage in terms of numbers. I also think his army is slightly better just by virtue of having these 2 Eagles. They're not super strong as scouts, but once he starts upgrading them, hopefully this means we get to see Eagle Warriors and Elite Eagle Warriors, and hopefully we get to see Berserkers. So the Viking player has established himself a colony here, completely walled off. So he's in a good position here to just boom for a little bit. We'll see if he comes under any kind of attack. Our Mayan player has decided to take a more of a bite out of this map. So he's taken up the entire corner. What is this? About a sixth of the map? A fifth of the map? So very ambitious. I mean, there's a huge opening here. But has Sitaux seen it? He has. Okay. For now, retreating, being annoying, going up to castle are both players' advantage to our red Mayan by about 15 seconds. Plopping down barracks. Please let us see Viking. Let us see Berserkers against the Eagle Warriors. That would be fantastic. Unfortunately, though, I don't see any units yet on stone for our blue Viking, which means he may not be considering castle just yet. A stable instead. So he'll probably go knights, which, you know, when you're playing against a civ like the Mayans, knights are never a bad idea. Okay. He goes into the gap here, the Brave 300. This is the Thermopylae. We'll see if Sitaux engages into this kill zone. He does not. Javelins thrown a little bit by these skirmishers, but then wisely backs away. For all the activity, total kills are 3 for Miguel, 0 for Sitaux at this point, and immediately plops down the Eagle Warrior upgrade. Always love to see them. They're so much fun to play. If you're lucky enough to spawn a civ that has Eagle Warriors, do your best to get up to Castle/Imperial, and then just build 8, 9, 10 barracks and, you know, just go crazy with these Eagle Warriors. They're just so much fun. They're so powerful, especially with 40% more 40 more HP. If you can upgrade them, they do get the benefit of full upgrades. If you could take a look at the top right of your screen, you'll see full infantry upgrades are available to them. They are incredibly fun to play, incredibly annoying to play against. So these 3 militias, probably the weakest unit in the game right now, trying to, I don't know, cause this domestic disturbance at this one house. But the army now crossbows comes in and says, I don't think so. Okay, so Miguel did not go upgrades on his archers just yet. He has a +1 attack, but Sitaux already has +2, +1 to Miguel's +1, +1. So upgrade advantage Sitaux. Oh, I mean, knights are good against eagles, but not when you're outnumbered 7-1. Miguel going up to 22 eagles. He is looking to just swarm his opponent. I'd love to see a castle. I'd love to see some plumed archers come out. They do kill infantry super fast. And look at this, Sitaux, good for him. We're at minute 23 of the game, and he's still exploring the map with his original scout cavalry. I mean, yeah, he's locating relics, he's locating patches of resources. I think our red player kind of just stopped. Which, whatever, good enough, good for him. He's focused on the game, but I always, if you've watched my videos, you know I love, and I always give advantages to players who scout more than their opponents. Information asymmetry, as always, is key to any kind of military battle engagement strategy. So a combination of game sense, which both these players have fantastic game sense, and knowledge. Ooh, misses the crossbows. Very unfortunate that Mangonel didn't accomplish much, but here we go. Now the eagles are coming, and these crossbows are in trouble. Perfect surround here by Miguel. Perfect surround here. I don't see a single one of these crossbows surviving unless he somehow manages to destroy one of his own structures and run into his base. Or unless the knights come and save the day. Okay. Lucky crossbows here. Yeah, the knights are enough to shoo my way, but let's see if the Mangonel can get anything done. The knights notice the Mangonel immediately. It spawns, it dies. Unfortunate for Sitaux here. Or for Miguel, rather. And yeah, both players sitting on around 50 villagers, both players similar eco. Miguel is allocating a lot more villagers to wood. And let's see if that's for structures or if he's going to do some kind of switch into something else. We have our first monk coming out. I mean, look at this. 2 entire volleys from 10 crossbows at short range. And they managed to tickle this Eagle Warrior 15 HP. I mean, how amazing are these Eagle Warriors? Oh my god. Fantastic mangonel shot just as I'm rambling on about the Eagle Warriors. Okay, so now these crossbows should die. I don't see the knights saving them. That being said, how many eagles will he sacrifice for these crossbows? And how many will be left to fight off this huge cavalry force? I mean, this is 400 HP of knights who already have 13 kills. Horses whinnying, chasing down these eagles, trampling them to death. 2 fresh recruits joining the battle saying, we want to kill something too. And now this position here, this front position by Miguel is in trouble. He's doubling down. He's building more structures. I mean, this crossbow could just... There we go. Oh, no. A counter to a counter engages into another counter. So you can see the Eagle Warrior is pretty strong. Does a decent amount of damage. One-on-one with the upgrades that they have. Does take a knight to below half HP. So wouldn't mind seeing a couple of monks out of Citaux to heal these guys. I mean, I don't think you need to convert on the eagles. Oh, they're not letting Citaux build any kind of archer force. It's amazing. Fantastic use of these eagles. They're so fluid. I'm going to stop scrolling. And I'm just going to enjoy the the bloodbath, the massacre here. Wow, Miguel is very careful with these eagles, healing them up, but the micro so far is fantastic. Look at this, 4 at a time, 3 at a time being produced. The kill count is almost identical. Citaux has killed 51 of Miguel's units. Miguel has killed 46 of Citaux's, so basically a 5-unit difference. Okay, this is nice. Heal the knights as they destroy your enemy's monastery, which is producing a monk that surely is going to die the second it spawns, no? Oh no, unless he... The power of the monk. Look at this. 1 monk makes this entire army back away. How crazy is that? And what are we looking at? We're sitting at almost 20 eagles, but we have 11 knights. That being said, they're pretty damaged. More than half of these are at like half HP. Oh, what are you doing? Why is there 1 man-at-arms? Oh, he's building more. It's not a mistake. Okay. So let's take a look at the players. I've been focused very much on the frontal battle here. Another town center. So Miguel going up to 3 town centers. Getting his own wheelbarrow upgrade to make his units faster. His infantry is sitting at a +1/+2. He's abandoned archer upgrades. I think he figures he's not going to go archers against this, which is sad. I would have liked to have seen plumed archers. Citaux, on the other hand, also sitting on 3 town centers, getting more and more infantry upgrades. He says, you know what, I see your Eagle Warriors. I know exactly what you're trying to do. So I'm going to go infantry of my own, that extra 20% HP. Look at that, 72 as opposed to 60. And now the Eagles are here and causing a ruckus. Mangonel here to zone out something. I mean, doesn't have a lot of archers left. He's got 3 crossbows left. Upgrades on the archers have stopped for our blue Viking. He's sitting at a +1 attack for infantry and cavalry, but a +2 defense for cavalry, +1 defense for infantry. So infantry advantage here for our red Mayan in terms of upgrades. Oh no, you came to the wrong neighborhood, my friend. We wear red here, not blue. I mean, always fun to see red and blue, you know, the Bloods and the Crips in Age of Empires. Let's see whose mango is going to prevail. And it's Citaux's. So a nice little save here, but this... Okay. So Citaux says, you know what, I see your army here. Even though I have an equal army count, I see the upgrades. Your army is stronger. you're just gonna roll over me. You've got monks here. I mean, he could have maybe taken 1 or 2 shots more with the mangonel. Where are his knights, though? Oh, while I was talking, his knights completely massacre. 24 kills for this group of 11 knights. 24 kills, 10 of which are villagers, plus another 2. Oh, look at this. Death in the death throes animation, about to collapse. Not too sure why Sitaux decided to GG here. I think he, if I had to guess, I would say he knew he was attacking and causing a ruckus in Miguel's base. But on the other hand, because half his army is here on the other side of the map, and he sees Miguel just spamming Eagle Warriors, 26 Eagle Warriors. There's a barracks here. I would have loved to see a couple more barracks at the front just to make the attack, the spawning distance shorter. He's got siege, he's got monks, he's got Eagle Warriors, and Sitaux just says, you know what, I took a calculated risk. I sent my strongest units, my fastest units across the map. Now you're knocking down on my doorstep with siege, and I just don't have anything to defend against this right now. These long swordsmen are not going to last very long, especially when they're outnumbered literally 2 to 1 by the Eagles. Even though the Eagles have less HP, I think they take this battle here, especially with monks, to zone out a couple of these units. And there's a bunch of crossbows here thrown into the mix that are not going to do anything against these Eagle Warriors. So Sitaux, I guess, decides, you know what, not worth sending my knights all the way back home, live to fight another day, and GG's. So overall, fantastic game. Always love to see Eagle. Look how easily and quickly they mass and they clump and spam. I mean, Miguel has enough resources to produce, what, another 10 more Eagles? And once he does that, I mean, yeah, it would have been GG. Let's take a look at his Sitaux's production. I mean, he could have continued producing long swordsmen, right? But the issue for him is they don't cost almost any gold, but they do cost food, and he's got enough food to build 1 more unit. So all of these factors go into players' decisions, when to GG, when to resign, and overall, fantastic pressure here by our red Mayan. Immediately after Feudal just put his foot down on the gas and said, you know what, I'm going to produce a shit ton of Eagles, I'm going to swarm you, I'm going to add a bit of siege. Mangonel goes down. So Sitaux wisely says, you know what, I took a calculated risk. I ransacked your base a little bit. I killed 11 villagers. I think there was 1 from before, so I killed 10 villagers, plus another 2 are going to go down, but that's not really game-ending damage when you already have another base fully operational here, another base here. So he GG's once he sees this just huge mass of Eagle Warriors running and swarming and about to destroy his entire army here. If the knights were back home, I don't think he would have GG'd, but he took the risk. It didn't pay off, but overall, fantastic game by both players. If you like what you see, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, enable notifications. I'm not always going to be sick. I'm not always going to be so nasally, and you won't always hear little sniffles in the background. I hope to be better in the next couple of days. And check out, by the way, I've started producing shorts with my slightly strange sense of humor, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.